This conference will now be recorded.
Hello all, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss about storage part, which is today we are going to cover S3 simple storage service. So tomorrow we will work on EBS volumes. Okay, different storages. Fine. So able to see my screen, everyone?
Yes.
So S3, it's a simple storage service. Yeah. So in AWS we have different types of storages. Okay, so we are going to cover few storages in that. So first one is S3 simple storage service. So we have another storage also. What are the storages available? So let us try to understand. Yeah, first one is EBS volumes. EBS means elastic block store. Elastic block store. Yeah, EBS volumes are, yeah, these are block level storage. EBS volumes are block level storage. So it is a block level storage. So we can assign the storage block by block from 1 GB to 16 TB. We can assign block by block to EC2 instance. Okay, so this is block level storage. We can compare the storage with SAN storage, SAN, storage area network, okay, which is a traditional storage. So we can compare with SAN storage. Okay, so this is bit costlier storage compared with all other storages. This is bit costlier in AWS. Okay, so when we create block level storage, it will we can create block by block from 1 GB to 16 TB. So it is a traditional storage. We can compare with SAN storage. So compare with all the storages, all other storages, this is bit costlier. Next one is EFS. EFS means it's a elastic file system. So this is file level storage. This is file level storage. So here what will happen when we create EFS? Okay, we don't specify any storage space. We don't give like 5 GB, 10 GB, not like that. So when we create EFS, okay, when we configure that EFS, so it will allow you to as much as you want the storage. For example, when we create the EFS, so I have created EFS in our project. Okay, I started working on this. So I'm uploading some files, I'm moving some files, I'm editing some files. So day on day, data is growing. Okay, so it will not stop you to utilize the storage. It will allow you to utilize the storage as much as you want. For example, 20 GB, 30 GB, 40 GB, whatever the size you want to utilize, you can utilize. But for that, you will get the bill. You need to pay the bills, right? So this is, yeah, this storage we can compare with NAS storage. It is a network attached storage. So the make name is, we can compare with NetApp something, NetApp and other storages. Okay. Next one is S3 bucket. S3. It says simple storage service. We discussed already. So this is not file storage. This is not block storage. This is objective storage. This is objective storage. So we can upload any files, we can download any files, we can move any files, we can edit any files. Okay, so it will allow all file formats. Okay, you can upload binary files, image files, video files, whatever files you want to upload, you can upload in S3 bucket. So we can compare with Google Drive. This S3 bucket we can compare with Google Drive. So in Google Drive, we can upload any files, right? Whatever files we want to upload, we can upload into Google Drive. The same way, S3 bucket will allow you to upload whatever file formats you want to upload, you can upload into S3 bucket. This is the objective storage. And this one, S3 bucket also, we don't specify any size of the drive. So when we upload any files, it will not stop you to upload whatever size you want to utilize, whatever GB you want to utilize, you can utilize. For that, you will get the bill. Okay. Next one is, fourth one is S3 Glacier. Okay, so this is one more storage. So this is a bit cheaper storage compared with all other storages. So mainly we use this storage for backups and long-standing data. Okay, for example, one project is completed. Okay, so the project data is available. That data I want to save into somewhere to reduce the costing. So by the time, normally what we will do, we'll move the data to Glacier. So when we move the data to Glacier, so it is a bit cheaper storage compared with all other traditional storages. Okay. So these are the storages we are going to cover. Today we are going to cover S3 bucket, simple storage service. So third one we can cover today. Fine. So basically what is S3? What S3 will do? What are the things available? So let us try to understand. Simple storage service is a public cloud storage. So we can remove this. These are not required. Simple storage service is a public cloud storage. So available in AWS. S3 is a objective storage offering Amazon S3 buckets. Okay. It is used by several project teams around the globe. Okay. It is a very popular storage S3 bucket. Okay. Fine. So here we have some important features. Okay. First one is low cost. Okay. So yeah, S3 bucket is low cost comparatively. Compared with all other storages, S3 bucket is low cost, which is SAN storage. Okay, so we can use as much as we want. Here, whatever data you want to utilize, whatever the size you want to utilize, you can use in S3 bucket. So it is low cost compared with EBS volumes. Okay, yeah. Second one is scalability. So what is scalability? So scalability means here we can use as much as you want. For example, when we create S3 bucket, right? So we don't specify any size, 5 GB, 10 GB, 20 GB, not like that. Okay. So whenever we are uploading the files, okay, whatever the files you want to upload, you can upload as much as you want to, whatever the data, like 1 GB, 10 GB. So you can upload whatever the size of the data you want to upload, you can upload into S3 bucket. So it is up to 5 GB free of cost. So if you utilize beyond the limits, so you'll get the bill. So here scalability means it will allow you to upload as much as you want. For that usage, you will get the bill. So, but in real time, what we will do, we are using one S3 bucket in our project. Okay. So we have put some limitation. Limitation means like we want to utilize maximum 30 GB. So for that 30 GB only, we got some budget from the client. Okay, maximum 30 GB we can use. If you use beyond the limits, definitely client will ask some questions why you are utilizing beyond the limits. So for which what we will do, we put some alerting system. We created some metrics. Okay, so once it is reaches to 90%, so our target is 30 GB. Once it is reaches to 90%, means 27 GB reaches, immediately one alert will be triggered to our team members, our group. So by the time what we will do immediately, so we can clean up old data, previous data. Okay, so then we'll start working on the S3 bucket. Otherwise, what will happen? It will grow up and it will move beyond the limits, right? So if you want to utilize maximum 30 GB, you need to put some alerting system. You need to configure some threshold. So when it is reaches threshold, it will send you notifications. Based on that, we can clean up previous old data, or else we can delete the data, or else we can move the data to cheaper storage, right? Yeah. So third one is,
Sir, if you want increase means you can increase it.
no, it will not show you anything increasing, decreasing, but we can target, like, for example, we don't specify any limit, we don't specify any size. So when we create S3 bucket, it will allow you to upload whatever size data you want to upload, you can upload. It will not stop you to utilize it. Okay. Yeah, but for our understanding, for our project requirement, we can put some alerting system. Once it reaches to 30 GB, we'll get notified through emails.
Like measurable.
Yeah. Correct.
Can we use beyond 30 GB?
Yeah, we can use. But what will happen? You'll get more bill. For example, you are going on bike. Okay. So it is showing a reserved. So once it is coming to reserved, still you have 1 more liter petrol will be available instead of the bike. Okay, so it will give you alerting. It is in reserved. So make it fill again, like it will show you some alerting. So if you are not listening that, what will happen? Okay, the same way here also. So when you configure alerting system, it will show you threshold value. It will show you threshold. When it is reaches to threshold, it will send you notifications. Okay, so by the time what we can do, we can remove old data, we can delete old data, or else we can move old data to Glacier somewhere. We can clean up. Otherwise, it will move beyond the limits. So client will ask you, we need to give justification. What we need to give in, we need to explain in weekly calls, daily calls, right? Yeah.
In real time moving part, we guys will do sir, like client people.
Can you come again? Can you be louder?
No, data moving. We guys will do sir, like client people can data moving.
Data movements. So we need to get approval from the client, and we can move that old data to Glacier or somewhere. So we need to raise some change request, and we need to get approvals. Then we can move to Glacier or somewhere.
Okay.
And one more thing, how many buckets we can create in per account? Is there any limitation?
Yeah, so as per the project requirement, limitation is there. Some limitation is there. I'll give you that count. But as per the project requirements, in our project, we are using 3 buckets, 3 S3 buckets, as per the requirement. Yeah. Third one is availability. So availability means S3 is the designed and guarantee uptime of 99.999%. So guarantee uptime of 99.99%. So because AWS will provide you this much of this level of availability, high availability. So we are using S3 buckets since 5 years. We haven't seen single minute downtime. So in 2018, December 31st night, they down for 5 minutes only. So for that also, they informed us 1 month prior. 1 month before they informed us. So on 31st night, we have some maintenance activity for 5 minutes. This time frame, it will not be available. Please plan accordingly. Okay, that's that level of high availability provided by AWS. Okay, so unknowingly they will not stop any storages. They will not reboot any servers. Okay, so they will inform you before going to take any downtime or any maintenance activity. So prior to 10 days or 1 month, they will inform you. Okay, so availability. So here 99.99% availability. Next one is security. So security, so the data which we stored in S3 bucket, which is very secured. Okay, if you want to encrypt the data, you can enable encryption also for S3 buckets. Whatever data you saved in S3 buckets, those are very secured. If you want to enable encryption, you can enable. Okay, so it will allow you to access from anywhere S3 buckets, but with proper authentication only, you can access our S3 buckets. Okay, security wise, AWS is providing very good security. They are maintaining some security layers. Okay, different layers they are maintaining to protect customers' data. Fine. So next one is the flexibility. So flexibility means, yeah. So S3 buckets are very flexible. So we can access S3 buckets from anywhere, from your home, from your office, from anywhere, from your mobile also you can access S3 buckets. But with proper authentication only, it will allow you to access. Without authentication, it will not allow. Okay. Next one is simple data transfer. Yeah. So here it is the fastest data transfer in S3 bucket. Whatever data you want to transfer, it is fastest data transfer speed and the lowest latency. So we'll not find any latency here. So like Google Drive. So when you are trying to upload any files in Google Drive, so it will allow, right? So the same way S3 bucket also will allow whatever files you want to upload into S3 buckets. So you can share that link to anyone. They can open that link and they can connect your data. They can read your data, right? Right. So these are the important features in S3 buckets. Any questions up to here before moving to lab? Fine.
So how do we generally clear the data, previous data, if it exceeds the limit?
You can delete, simply delete. You can delete or you can move to Glacier. So how to move Glacier, I'll show you. So some ACL rules will be there. So I'll show you that.
Okay.
Some rules we need to create. So how it will move, I'll show you later. Fine. So let us go and create lab here.
Sir, is it similar to block storage?
This is not block storage. This is object storage.
Okay.
Now, so if you want to create any S3 bucket, so go to services, click on services, storage, click on S3. So I have already one S3 bucket. I want to delete this. Just open this. Yesterday we created one AMI, right? So you deleted that AMI. How to delete? You know? How can we delete that?
There is option.
Yeah, there is the option where it is available.
Yeah, in AMI, go to AMI, it's there.
I deleted already. So I forgot to explain how to delete. Yeah, fine.
In
So
actions,
here,
there.
yeah, in actions,
Need to
what is the
deregister.
option?
Deregister.
Deregister. Exactly. So you need to open AMIs, select AMI, click on deregister to delete your AMIs. So AMI also will be utilized. AMI also utilize storage, right? So bill will be generated. You can delete AMIs once you complete your practice. You can delete AMIs.
Or AMI and templates are both are same or different?
Templates we use in VMware. Okay, both are same. Templates and AMI both are same.
Okay.
Go to services, storage, S3. Okay, now I want to create one S3. So S3 is a global service. It is not specific to any region. S3 is global service. So when you create S3 bucket in APAC region, if you move to Americas region or Europe region, you can access from that region also. From Americas region, you can access your buckets. Okay. So for example, from Mumbai region, from here, India, you created one bucket, S3 bucket. That S3 bucket you can access from anywhere. It is a global service. So when I open S3 bucket, see here it is showing global service. It is not showing any region. So S3 bucket, IAM, Identity Access Management, both are global service. Okay. Right. Now I want to create one S3 bucket here. So click on create bucket. So it is asking bucket name. So for example, if I give DevOps, if I give DevOps like this, what will happen here? So it will check globally. So we need to provide unique name. Okay. So when we give like this and create bucket, for example, see here, bucket with the same name already exists. So we need to provide unique name here. Okay. So it will check globally. If the name is available, it will give you error. It will not create bucket. That is why we need to give proper name, unique name. Okay. I'm giving like this. So here it is showing some region, but it is not basically region specific. It is a global service. Go down here. Next one is block public access settings for this bucket. So remove this block public access. Okay, I acknowledge that current settings might result in the bucket and the object within becoming public. Click on this. Next one is bucket versioning. So if you want to enable versioning, you can enable here bucket versioning. So what is version control? What is versioning?
Any updates to the application?
Yeah. So version control means, so we can track the changes. Who did what? Who did changes? When did changes? What purpose did it changes? For example, in real projects, what we will do? real projects normally, for example, 10 members, our team members, 10 members are there. Okay, 10 members are accessing our S3 buckets. So in S3 bucket, we have KT files, video files, image files, everything is available. Okay, so who did what? So some people will edit the files, some people will move the files, upload files. Sometimes what will happen, knowingly, unknowingly, some files will be deleted. So by the time who did what, how can we understand? So normally real projects in real time, we enable this option. Bucket versioning will enable. So with that, we can track who did changes, when did changes, what purpose they did changes. So based on this versioning, bucket versioning, we can track who did what. Okay, fine. Next one is tags. Tags is for our understanding. So we can view some tag name. Okay, so next one is encryption. If you want to encrypt your data, which you stored in S3 bucket, you can enable encryption. Click on create bucket here.
So an encryption client will do, sir, like
Yeah, basically, yeah, we don't encrypt entire S3 bucket. So normally what we will do, some critical data, for example, one folder is there. In that folder, we have some critical data. Okay, that basically that should not be accessed to any team members. By the time what we will do, so we can enable the encryption for particular folder, not entire bucket. Particular folder we can enable the encryption to restrict others to access. Thanks. So this is our S3 bucket. Click on this. Yeah. So here we don't have any files uploaded here. So if you want to check properties of your bucket, click on this properties. Bucket versioning. If you want to enable, you can enable. Tag name. If you want to edit, you can edit. Encryption also you can edit here. Okay. Create configuration. AWS, CloudTrail. Different things are available. Next one is permissions. So permissions, we already enabled public access. So bucket policy, if you want to change any policy, you can change. Metrics. So we discussed already metrics, total bucket size, total number of objects. Okay, if you want to put some threshold for the bucket, okay. So this is just metrics. Okay, we don't stop any utilization, but so once it is reaches to threshold, it will give you some alerting. So for this, you can configure this metrics here. Metrics you can configure. Okay, and the total number of objects, how many objects you want to store, that also you can give some threshold here. Yeah. Yeah, this is not required basically. Storage class analysis. So class means different types of storages available. Okay, for S3 bucket, different types of storage available, different classes that we don't require actually. So go to management. Yeah. So management is very important here. Okay. So lifecycle rules. Okay. Replication rules. Okay. Inventory configurations. These are the important things here. So lifecycle rules. What are the lifecycle rules? So why we require lifecycle rules? Okay. What are the importance? We'll try to understand here. So lifecycle rules are like, for example, if you want to move some data from S3 bucket to Glacier, we need to create one lifecycle rule here. Okay. So how to create lifecycle rule? We'll see here. So click on create lifecycle rule. So lifecycle rule name Glacier. I want to move this data to Glacier. Okay. Choose a rule scope. Limit the scope of rule using one or more filters. Okay. Go down here. Filter type. Prefix not required. So object tags, if you want to put any tag, you can put here. Next one is lifecycle rule actions. What actions we are going to take. So here it is showing transition current versions of object between storage classes. So current versions means latest data. Transition current versions of object between storage classes means latest data, whatever latest data is available, that you can move somewhere, you can read somewhere. So this is not required basically. Next one, second one is transition previous versions of object between storage classes. Means if you select this, what will happen? Go down here. So I want to move previous versions of my data into some other different storage classes, So means I want to reduce my costing, bucket data costing. So by the time I create this rule, okay, if I select this transition previous versions of object between storage classes, so it will ask you different options here. Storage class transitions, standard IA. Standard IA means bit costlier storage. Okay, so click on this. It is showing intelligent tiering. This is also bit costlier. So one zone IA, this is also bit costlier storage. So Glacier, this is cheaper storage. You can select this. See here, what I'm doing here, I am creating one rule here, lifecycle rule, and I'm giving some rule action here, transition previous versions of object between storage classes. I have selected Glacier. Days after objects become non-current, I give here 90 days or 180 days or 365 days. Yeah, what will happen here? So once we upload any files into S3 bucket, okay, after 365 days, the data will be moved to Glacier. So you can give 365 days or 90 days, whatever, as per your project requirement. You can give. So it will automatically move your data to Glacier, cheaper storage, to reduce the costing. Got it right? What is the importance here? We don't copy manually, so we create some lifecycle rules. So lifecycle rule will trigger once it is completed 90 days, then data will be moved to Glacier, cheaper storage.
So, like, what previous version of data will be moved, sir? Like, before 90 days, all the versions, or only?
So once completed the 90 days, for example, you uploaded today one file into S3 bucket. That file, once it is complete 90 days, then the file will be moved to Glacier. Once it is complete 90 days.
Okay.
So like how we calculate today we can upload means after 90 days. Sir. Tomorrow you can upload like after 90 days we'll move, sir. Like.
Exactly. Whenever you upload from that date, it will take 90 days.
Okay.
Yeah, replication rules. So replication automatically happen, no need to create any rules here. Replication means, so when we create an S3 bucket, that bucket will be available globally. So we can access from anywhere. That is already, by default, it will be enabled, no need to configure replication rules. Replication means it will replicate to one region to other region. So that we no need to perform manually. So it will be available already. Okay. And access points. So access points are like normally, so in real projects, what we will do, we'll create some different folders in S3 bucket. So we can give folder level access to team members. So we don't give root access to team members. Root access means entire bucket they can access. We don't give access like that. We give folder level access. So for example, 10 members are there. Okay. So 10 members, 10 folders we can create, and the folder level access we can provide to team members. Commonly, we can add one more folder. That one folder can access anyone. Anyone can access. But individual folders we create and we can provide access to the individual folders. Fine. Now.
And one more thing, in lifecycle rule, can we know like 90 days complete before the moving files to Glacier? Is there any way to configure the notification for that?
Yes, we can configure notifications. Metrics we have, right? Metrics we have. We can configure CloudWatch. CloudWatch is there. Monitoring tool. We can enable CloudWatch, so it will notify.
Okay.
So can we change the period? I mean, 90 days to 60 days or 90 days to 1?
We can edit that rules and we can change. Once you create that, you can change the rules. It will allow you to change.
Is that chargeable?
Lifecycle rules will not be charged, but storage costing will be happened. Once the data is moved to Glacier or somewhere, that costing will be happened. So even S3 bucket also costing, right? So storage cost will be happen. The lifecycle rule cost will not be happen.
So all of a sudden, if you want to move the storage to the Glacier, so can't we do it manually?
Normally in real projects, we don't do manually. So we create lifecycle rules. So manually also you can copy data into Glacier, but most of the time we use lifecycle rules.
Okay.
So it will move like different versions of same file to Glacier, or just one version, previous version?
Yeah, in Glacier also you can view some versioning. Glacier also versioning available. You can enable versioning in Glacier also. Okay. Yeah. Now what we will do? So we can upload some files and we'll try to access the files. Okay. So I want to upload some files here. Just a minute. Some background noise is coming here. Yeah. So now we can upload some files here. So click on upload. Okay. So add files, click on add files. So I want to upload some files here. Linux commands document I want to upload. Open this. Upload, click on upload. Now it is uploading. Done. So it is uploaded. So now this is the file. So which I upload into S3 bucket. So now if I want to provide access to anyone, public access, okay. So I need to click on this file. Okay, this is the URL. If I share with anyone this URL, so anyone can access from anywhere. Okay, just copy this URL. Copy. So I paste in the chat. Can you access? Can you try to access? You're able to access this file or not? Linux commands document. I put in the chat. Can you access the URL?
We are unable to access.
Unable to access. Correct. So anyone, can you confirm others also? Same error,
yes,
right?
we are unable to access.
Fine. So here we need to enable public access. Then only you will be able to access. Okay. So go to object actions. Make public. Click on make public. Click on make public. Fine. Now we can refresh and you can access that. Can you try now?
Yes, we can access now.
You're able to access, right? Yeah. Same way. So S3 buckets, whatever you want to upload any data, your personal data, whatever data. So up to it is 5 GB free of cost. If you utilize beyond the limits, it would be rising. Okay. So you can upload anything and you can share the link to anyone. They can download, they can read the data, right? So you can.
How much
utilize
is
like this.
free size, sir?
5 GB, up to 5 GB,
Fine.
free of cost. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. Any questions
Sir,
up to here? Yeah.
So this one before accessing, I'll give the username password, like where you
Yeah, public S3 buckets, public access, no, nothing is required. So private access, for example, in organizations, it is private buckets. Okay, for that we require some firewalls will be there. It will not allow. We require some proper authentication. Then only it will allow you to access. So public access not required.
okay.
Fine. Any questions, anyone? So yesterday some people called me, pinged
So
me. They're unable to connect EC2 instance using participation.
sir, here, sir, can you show us how to set the threshold limit?
Yeah, when we discuss about CloudWatch, I'll show you that. CloudWatch, you need to configure CloudWatch. So I'll show you that. CloudWatch, it will send you notifications. I'll show you that when we discuss about CloudWatch. Okay. Yeah. So yesterday someone called me and so Devakar, I think. Devakar, hope you are able to access your instance, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Fine. But actually, I'm unable to install Ansible and sir, unable to locate package on Ansible.
Unable to locate package. Okay. So if you, yeah, first you need to update inventory. You update it, right? Local repository we need to update.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sudo apt-get update. You perform that, right?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. So Ansible command has been changed, right? I shown in that Ansible command has been changed. I think you can go through the video once. You can execute the same way.
Okay, sir. I'll try.
Fine. So any other questions still? Yeah.
So in real time, we are maximum use S3 only. Sir.
Maximum we use S3 buckets in real time if you have an AWS platform. So we are using S3 buckets in our project. So we have 3 S3 buckets. So most of the time we use S3 buckets only. These S3 buckets we can connect to cross platforms also. Cross platforms means Azure and GCP also we can connect this S3 buckets. Even GCP also bucket storage is available, one service, and Azure also available, one container storage. So we can use this S3 buckets to cross platforms. So the same buckets we can connect with Azure, we can connect with GCP also, Google Cloud Platform. So this is very, very important, S3 buckets. Most of the projects they use S3 buckets only. Yeah. Still we have 10 minutes time, but if I want to start, if I start in a concept CloudTrail or something, so it will take some time. Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow we'll work on CloudTrail, so monitoring tool, and also we can cover EBS volumes, elastic block storage tomorrow. Fine. So up to here you can practice. So S3 buckets are very, very important. This is first storage. Still we have 3 sessions, storage sessions. Fine. So we stop here for today. Any more questions, anyone? Anything?
Ram, as you said, we can create S3 buckets as per requirement, but generally in AWS account, I want to create 200 buckets. Is it allowed?
You
Is
want to
there any
create
limited? For
limitations,
example, I
right?
want to create 200 buckets.
200 buckets. Okay.
Yeah. Per account, is it available? I mean, is it possible?
So, some limitation is there. Not sure, and I'll check it out and I'll let you know what are the limitation of the buckets. How many
Okay, as
buckets?
per knowledge, by default, they are allowing 100 buckets only. If we increase service limit, I think maybe we will create. Is it correct or I want to?
Yeah, basically, so premium customers will be there and normal customers will be there. Premium customer, it will allow more than 100 buckets. So normal
Okay.
customers, it will allow maximum 100 buckets. That I need to check actual count.
Okay.
Yeah. So premium customers means they will have some additional features and also they will have phone contact, phone support also. For example, so we are facing some issue in S3 bucket. So we no need to raise case with vendor, directly we can call to AWS.
Okay.
That is premium support. So premium customers will have more features. Yeah, they can create more than 100 buckets. So that I check it out, limitations.
Okay.
Fine, so we stop here for today. And tomorrow we'll work on EBS volumes and S3 Glacier. Fine, thank you all.
Thank you, sir.